Hello, welcome back to 30 Days of Mania, WrestleMania 24. Connie was ill over the weekend, so we watched this a couple of days ago, but you know, for the benefit of what we've been doing so far, again, we've got the end of WrestleMania 24 playing in the background. Stop eating sweets while we're making it.
You're talking anyways.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like you can't wait for like 2 seconds.
No, I can't wait.
Unbelievable.
Literally.
Unbelievable. Now, WrestleMania 24, I watched this one live as well, loved it. It's one of my favourite WrestleManias. I think it's a great show, great card, some great matches. So what we watched was the opening, which was sung by...
No,
that was 23, we've done that. John Legend or something. It was some guy on piano. It was a pretty good rendition, you know, nothing special, but it was, you know, he didn't overdo it. He had a big piano on the stage and stuff.
like most of girls do.
Yeah, and I love this arena. It's like this big open air arena. I think this was the second open air WrestleMania after WrestleMania 9.
Started out being light out, and then
yeah, and I love that.
It's dark when Undertaker comes in.
Yeah, when I watched this live, I was just like, it just made my excitement so much bigger because it was like outdoors. I don't know why, it just seemed so cool. And then with it getting dark, and then, you know, looking even, you know, it was like different aspects, and of course the fireworks going off, you know, high into the sky and stuff.
And the fireworks weren't a good thing.
Yeah, some people got injured in the crowd, apparently. One of my friends went to this show actually. Anyway. So that was the opening, and the matches we watched Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels, the career-threatening match. Vince had made the stipulation months earlier prior to this that any match.
So uncomfortable throughout the whole match because he had to tell me again that someone broke their ribs. Shawn Michaels, of course, loads of them. And when he said, it was like, well, he breaks his ribs, and I'm like, no, and I was thinking, well, it will be in the end for sure. No, all the way in the beginning. And he said, oh, he's barely even holding them. He was holding them the whole time.
I didn't say that. I said from what I remember, he wasn't holding them very much.
Holding them the whole time.
And,
kept going.
Yeah, he kept going. I mean, when I watched it, I was just talking about the build-up of the match. You know, Vince said that any match that Flair loses from now on, it would be his last match. Flair kept winning, and then Flair decided he wanted to face Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania to kind of, you know, get the best match and, you know, kind of prove himself. Well, not prove himself, but, you know, have that kind of, you know, have a match with the best, Shawn Michaels, at WrestleMania. And Shawn was like, oh, you know, I don't want to be the man who ended Ric Flair's career. And then they kind of turned it where Shawn was being a bit heel and saying he's gonna, you know, put him down like an old dog and stuff. And so there was a lot of emotion going into the match. Flair was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, which he was the night before this WrestleMania. And so yeah, the match was very emotionally charged, and it was Ric Flair's last match in WWE as Shawn Michaels won. So it was quite emotional for Flair. You know, he was crying at the end of it and stuff. And
well, Shawn was too, kind of.
Yeah,
he was saying he was sorry and that he loves him.
Yeah, I mean that's very much part of the show, but at the same time, he said in his latest DVD that it wasn't really hard for him to put himself in that place, and you know, there was a lot of real emotion going on there because Shawn Michaels grew up idolising Ric Flair. In fact, in Shawn Michaels' first DVD, well, the one with like the 2-hour documentary on him. What?
It's just Snoop Dogg kissing someone.
Oh yeah, in Shawn's 2-hour documentary DVD, they show a picture of him when he was like a teenager, in like a suit, trying to look like Ric Flair and stuff, and you know, so you know, it's one of those fairy tale things where you end up kind of wrestling the guy who you idolised growing up and stuff, or working with the guy you idolised growing up, you know. So there you go, that was the last match of Ric Flair. I thought it was a great match. I forgot how long it was. It really goes on for quite a while after the rib break incident. Again, I don't know if he broke his ribs or just cracked them, but he said, you know, that he broke some of his ribs. But
it doesn't matter if he cracked or broke.
It doesn't, and there's no way he didn't injure himself because he did the moonsault from the second rope to the outside, and he just his ribs were just square on the edge of the announce table. Absolutely horrible. When I watched it live, I thought, that's it, he's done. He's going to have to stop wrestling because it was ridiculous. But he carried on. They had a great match. Just, yeah, brilliant. Loved it. Anything else you want to say about that match?
It was a good match. I was just so uncomfortable watching it.
Yeah, the rib thing.
I was like, the whole time.
Yeah. A couple of crazy spots in that Money in the Bank match as well. We didn't watch that, but that was a good Money in the Bank ladder match. Anything else? The whole Ric Flair thing, the fact that he retired, you know, and had his last match, but of course he came back, I think, within a year and wrestled Hogan in Australia, and then did some matches at TNA, which, you know, weren't even worth doing. It's a shame, you know, but at the end of the day, again, as Shawn said recently, he kind of knew Flair would wrestle again, and the fact is, this was Flair's last WWE match. It was his last match on a big stage like WrestleMania, so it really was kind of his retirement match, and it was the last of Ric Flair as we knew him, I think. So yeah, that's probably the best moment of this WrestleMania. Great match. And then the main event was Undertaker taking on Edge for the World Heavyweight title. What?
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 No, I thought we were talking Triple H and Randy Orton now.
No, that's WrestleMania 25.
Oh, right.
No, this is 24, and it's Edge, the World Heavyweight Champion, defending against the Undertaker.
That was good, so I didn't mean to do that.
In the main event. It's a good match, but every time I watch it, you know, after about half an hour and I think back on it, I just can't really remember that much that happened. I mean, something about it just wasn't like
memorable?
Yeah, it wasn't really super memorable. There were some good bits, you know, Taker did his dive to the outside. I love the bit where Edge throws the Undertaker into the crowd, and that was kind of cool. You know, they worked well together. They had great chemistry. There's some good spots. The crowd were into it. You know, they had Edge's cronies coming out towards the end. There was a great finish, you know, where Edge hits the second spear on the Undertaker, and he's kind of like, you know, resting, and the Undertaker just grabs him straight into the what do you call it? The Hell's Gate, I guess the Undertaker calls it, submission. Great finish. And this was probably the first. Well, not the first, but this was probably the last time I thought that Taker was going to lose the streak, because they did that great hype video at the beginning. You said you liked it, where you know, it was like Undertaker and all the victims, and then suddenly the video was getting cut and kind of edited with Edge instead, and the 15-0 was changed into 15-1, and it was
it was like a creepy kind of edit.
Edge doing the tombstone, and he was doing that on people prior to the event and pinning them like the Undertaker. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, he might actually beat him, because as far as we were concerned, in 2008, Edge could have gone on for another 10 years and could have really reaped the benefits of beating the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but
didn't.
Nobody. Yeah, well, we know what happened there. But and I also thought the exact same thing. I thought WrestleMania 23. There's no way the Undertaker's going to win the World Heavyweight title. He's near the end of his career. He wouldn't do that. And since it happened at 23, I thought there was no way it was going to happen again. I didn't think the Undertaker was going to win the world title again, but it happened, and it was surprising, and it was. Yeah, I love the match, but well, I don't love the match. I love the moment. I love that Edge got that moment, because he really deserved that main event match at WrestleMania. He said, you know, recently in the 30 Years of WrestleMania podcast that WWE are putting out, he said that that's probably, you know, one of his favourite memories, because he got to be the #1 guy going against the Undertaker in the last match at WrestleMania. What?
The #1?
He was the #1 guy.
I've done the exact same thing before.
Yeah, we have.
You should put it together in the end.
Yeah, so you go, WrestleMania 24. So
he said that he lost like feelings in his arms almost.
Yeah, he said he was so amped up for this match that his arms were going numb. You know, not because of the neck injury, but just because he was just so excited and, you know, ramped up for it, which is awesome. And yeah, good stuff.
What he said.
Yeah.
You kind of sum it up, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, I mean, you're a big fan of Edge, aren't you? You actually like Edge a lot. And
yeah.
Kind of always, never failed to.
So.
Yeah.
Upset that I never got to see him.
Yeah. Well, he'll be in New Orleans, just not wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, you'd have to pay like $150 to meet him though, which is the.
That's why we stalk people, right?
Well, it would certainly be a better alternative than shelling out that kind of money. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with WrestleMania 25. Thanks for watching.
Canoe.